good friend Melissa Stewart. Yes, she is she's a fellow Grostat Drive alumni. She's a life coach, salon owner, does the Beautifully Restored podcast, and I love her motto. We were just talking about it off air just a minute ago. She helps people strengthen themselves and discover how freaking awesome they are. I love it. Melissa,
definitely.
Welcome, girl.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited.
Hey, take a minute real quick and tell our audience a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about what you've got, where you're at and what you got going on.
All right. I live in central Illinois, so it's cold here, lots of cornfields. It's pretty boring. But I am a certified life and health coach. So yes, I help people realize their full potential and just help them grow, because that is my life. And I just want to share my journey and what I've learned and what I've been through. So I have been doing hair for 20 years, even though I'm only 22 years old. For 20 years. And I own a salon here in Decatur called Fiercely Beautiful. So I love the word fierce, and I feel like you stole it from me, because I have a salon called Fiercely Beautiful. I have a women's group for female entrepreneurs called Fiercely Driven Women, and now you got this Finnish fierce going on. So,
hey, listen, FYI, Nate May came up with it, so if you got a problem, you have to talk to Nate.
All right, I'm going to talk to Nate. He stole it from me. So yeah, I own a salon.
He's the one that came up with it.
I love it. It's awesome. I love the word fierce, because I love the idea of strength and that fierceness and that just drivenness. I love that. So I also own a house cleaning business. We do residential and some commercial cleaning. And so I have a team of 6 ladies that work for me, and they are awesome. And we're just out there making people's day by cleaning their houses. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot with 3 businesses, but that's how I roll, and I love it. So
talk a little bit about your third business, because you touched on the coaching business, but not a lot. Tell everybody real quick about what you've got going on right now in that, and how that's kind of progressed.
So my coaching business is my passion. It's what I want to do forever. So that's where I'm putting a lot of my energy into. Right now, I've got No Fail New Year going on, how to have a no fail new year. We've got 3 more weeks of that. If you want to jump into that program, message me, because I'll put you in there for a discount, because you only missed 1 week, but we can do it. So 3 more weeks. And this is just how to make sure that as we leave 2020, which we all agree sucked and nobody loved it, and we're just tired of it, how to make sure that going into 2021, we are going to have a better year. And hey, why not? Let's have the best year ever. And that is my intention as a person and as a business owner. And so that's what this group is all about. There's 7 of us, and it's so much fun. It's group coaching every Thursday night. We meet, and everybody gets a one-on-one with me. So a complimentary one-on-one. So that's exciting. I also do one-on-one coaching. So I have one-on-one coaching clients that's separate from the group coaching. So that's for December. Going into January, just so y'all know, now here we go with the word fierce again. I will be launching Fit and Fierce, and that will be a group coaching for women or men, anyone that have health goals and just want to eat better, move better, be healthier, lose weight, whatever. So that's Fit and Fierce. That'll start in January. But I also want to have another group. So I haven't named it yet. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But I want to have two coaching groups. So I love coaching.
Let me tell you guys. Yeah, let me tell you guys something real quick. If you're looking at getting some fitness and doing some things like that this next year, Melissa is bold. Like, she is not like, I'm not even a client. She's actually my client. And she actually texts me and tells me what I need to do on my diet and what I need to do in the gym. I did have 45 this morning, just so you know. Crushed it this morning. Absolutely crushed it this morning.
I'm sure you did.
Hey, real quick as we get started, tell our audience kind of how we got connected and what the last 6 to 7, 8 months has looked like since that point.
Well, we met on Instagram. I was watching an Instagram live with Grant Cardone, and he brought you on, and you were, as always, bringing the fire, bringing the passion, bringing the excitement, going crazy. I was like, who is this guy? Saw that you were a coach and that you coach for business and you coach coaches. And I thought, I need this guy. This was in March. So we're talking right as the shutdown started. I own a salon, so I'm home right now. I can't work. I can't be open. So I knew that something had to happen over the next, I thought it was going to be we thought it'd be like a month, and it ended up being like 10, 11, 12 weeks no work. So I met you on that. I messaged you and you messaged me back, not a virtual assistant or someone else on your team, but you actually wrote me back. We had a one-on-one within a couple of days together. And, you just showed your care and that you wanted to help me and your belief in me. And that's what I needed at the time. So I got in on the Grow Stack Drive. I'm one of the OG members, Go GSD OGs, one of the originals. And I'm telling you what, we just were, my husband, who's my bookkeeper, we were just tallying up my income. And this year I've already broken 6 figures. And that is a dream of mine to have broken 6 figures. And the year's not even over. We still have December. I have no college education. I have no formal training. I am just a business owner who created businesses out of necessity because I needed to survive. And I have just grown these things huge. I've grown them, I think at least over 30% so far this year than last year. So through COVID, all of my businesses grew huge, doubled and tripled in size and revenue during that time. So, but I will say that community of GSD was very instrumental, having your guidance and your help and encouragement and I think for me, not feeling alone, being a business owner and especially during COVID, isolated at home, you tend to feel alone. You don't know where to start. You don't know what step to take. And that really, really helped me because it gave me that community feeling of support and accountability. And that I know I can do this. I know I can do this. So huge for me.
Talk about, Melissa, so you hit 6 figures in 11 months, and that was with how many weeks of shutting the salon down, which at the time was your major source of income?
11 weeks, yeah.
So over 2 months of the salon being completely shut down. Talk about mindset and some of the journey, not just with me, but with GSD and how your mindset. I remember one of the first conversations we had. One of the first conversations we had, maybe in our first one-on-one, was you were like, I'm going to call 5 people today, and I'm like, 5 people. What did I tell you, and how did that expand and grow your mindset?
Yeah, you told me I should. Was it 25 or 50? It was a lot. You told me
50.
It was 50. You're like, how about 50 people? And so what you started doing with that statement and with many more to come was started to kind of blow that ceiling of limiting beliefs off. For me, thinking that to even think about sending cold call type messages to people and connecting with them, that was really scary. And I thought 5, that'd be good. You're like, how about 50? So that challenged me. So the challenge was needed, but not only that, but the mindset. You asked me about mindset. The fact that I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs and I still do. I mean, it's a constant fight and struggle, right? And so it's blowing that ceiling off, chipping away at it, starting to realize that I am capable. I can do this. And that as a coach, that there's a big opportunity there for me as a coach to help people. And I remember I said something to you about, well, I'm not a high level coach like Coach Bird or Anthony Trucks, or they're famous and they got all this stuff going. And you said, I said, so that can't be me. And you said, why not? Why not you? And I love that. Why not you? Why, what do they have that I don't have? So that's been huge for me because I think that as we're talking about this, the rest of this month about your heart and your head aligning, I think that when your heart is dreaming these big dreams and you're really envisioning something amazing for yourself, if your thoughts, if your head and your thoughts are not able to align with that, because it's like, no, you can't ever have that. You'll never make 6 figures with your businesses. You don't have a college degree. Who's going to hire you? So those have to align. And that's, for me, that's been a lot of work this year for me, is to get those in alignment together. And they've come a long way. And
you've worked really, really hard at that. And that's really where, when we talk about incremental, not monumental, I go all the way back to, that first conversation you and I had. You said 5, I said 50, and it was 27. Do you remember that? It was 27 calls.
Yeah.
And I just remember talking to you and just the tone of your voice oh my God, I connected with 27 people. I mean, you were coaching people for free.
Yeah. I had 27 one-on-ones scheduled. I was I was so busy doing coaching one-on-ones with people and they were free at the time, but you all have to understand I had no clients. So to go from none, here I am, I'm a coach. I'd been certified for at least a year. I wanted to be coaching people, but I didn't know how to get people. So that was part of that learning process. So I had 27 one-on-ones lined up, and that now has turned into consistent paying clients. And now I have seven coaching clients. And so, but it started with 0, but it took me believing in myself. And the best way to build confidence in life is to do the very thing that you aren't confident doing. And I wasn't confident in myself as a coach. And so what did I have to do to build confidence as a coach? I had to start coaching. I tell the story about how I played the piano and I played for years, but when I went to this new church that I go to, their music program is freaking amazing. They are super, super talented. I can remember sitting in that audience, watching and listening to them thinking, there's no way I could ever be up there and play the piano with them. I'm not good enough. My confidence did not grow. It actually never grew sitting on that pew, watching those people and listening to those people play. My confidence stayed where it was. You do not gain confidence on the sideline of the game. The only way you gain confidence is when you're in there and you're playing. And so as soon as I took the bold step to try out for that team, to play for the church, and I was scared to death. I tried out, they accepted me, and they put me on the schedule. I've been doing it now for, 8-9 months. And I get up there and I was jamming yesterday. I was having a great time. But that confidence grew because I did it. So y'all that are listening to this, if you're not confident in doing something, you won't gain that confidence until you do it. That's how confidence is built. You got to do it. You got to take action. And that's what I've done.
That confidence, Melissa, in one area of your life is just all it's done is just transferred as far as its businesses go. Because I remember the 5, I'm going to make 5. I said 50. You did 27. You had 27 one-on-ones. And it wasn't but a few months later, the salons opened back up. You text me or DM me or called me and you said, hey, we've got an opportunity to buy a salon. We've got an opportunity to double the size of my business. Would you have even thought that way had you not done some of the smaller things to gain confidence?
No, not at all. I wasn't even thinking about expanding in that area. And same with my cleaning business. My cleaning business was small. We had 10 properties and I had 2 employees. And back up even before then, I was one of the cleaners. I was the one cleaning houses. And I didn't want to be doing that anymore, but I couldn't envision and I didn't believe that I could step away from it. I was afraid I would lose money. And so I held on to that. And it wasn't until I let that go. Actually, I read Jen Sincero's book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. If you guys haven't read that book as an entrepreneur, it's an excellent book. Very good on mindset. And I swear to goodness, I closed that book and I knew my life was changed. I knew I was no longer going to clean houses, but I was going to own a company and I was going to build it and make it even bigger. And then same with the salon, buying the bigger place, having more booth renters in there, and the opportunities that we have now. Everything is growing, but I couldn't envision that for so long. There's so, a lot of times you bring your past with you and the shame and the guilt from mistakes that you've made or stupid things that you've done, or like I've told you before, I didn't have a college degree. I'm surrounded by people with college degrees. My husband has a master's, so he's way more educated than I am. You're surrounded by people like that and you start to feel like maybe you're not as capable. How can I be a leader? How will people take me seriously? And I've learned that those things are not that important in the grand scheme of all of this, but the action that you take, the confidence that you exude, believing in yourself. Many of I mention it sometimes that 12 years ago, I lost everything. You'll have to know, if you don't know me, you need to know that 12 years ago, I had nothing. I had made a big mistake in my life and I'd lost everything, my family, my church, my job. Because I really wasn't working anyway. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had nothing. I had no way and I had to start over. So then I went through a divorce and I had to find a place to live. I was basically homeless, lived with my brother, 2 little kids, no job, got a job at a call center, working on the phones with a little headset on, taking angry phone calls from AT&T customers who were pissed that their phone wasn't working anymore. And I started off doing that, at the age of 27, 28 years old. And I had to start over. I never bought a car in my life. I had to buy my first car. And I had no belief in myself. And I had a lot of shame and guilt for what I had done to my life. I had taken my life and disrupted it by a big mistake, right? And I carried that guilt and shame for a lot of years. But I just kept going. And that's one thing I want to encourage anyone listening today who maybe you're facing that same struggle. Just remember that you don't have to see the whole journey in front of you. You know, when you set out for a long road trip, you don't know what obstacles you're going to come across. You don't know the road construction, the landslides, the whatever, the detours. You just set out and you start down the road mile for mile. And when you are on your journey through life, you don't have to know what the whole journey is going to look like. You just need to know what the first step is. And people say to me, how have you done it? How have you gone from 12 years ago, losing everything, having not even your family by your side, to where I'm at now? I just took one step after another. I just took one step after another. And I gradually started to finally believe in myself because I was taking those steps.
Talk about the last 6-8 months on the mindset part of it, but the strategy side and really the leadership development in you, Melissa, in gradually, because I remember the first conversation we had about buying the new building, about doubling your salon chairs, about even your product sales. To talk a little bit about just even your product sales in your salon of where you were, what we challenged you to do, and kind of what that turned into and how you grew from that.
Well, oh man, that's a loaded question. There's so many things. There's so many things. You can't be a business owner and not know what your numbers are, not know what your goals are, not know what your everyday, you know, like with the selling of the retail, I had no idea how much retail we were selling in a month. I was just going through my day, right? You got to know this stuff. And now I know this stuff. And then you got to set goals. I started setting goals and I started writing my goals down, not just once a day, but now twice a day. And I started writing down that, you know, we sell, you know, $300 a month in retail, and then easy to hit that. We hit that easy. And then we sell $500 a month in retail. Okay, we hit that easy. We sell $750 in retail a month. Okay, we just hit that. We move it up. So now the goal is well over 1,000 because we're just, you know, killing it. But, you know, you have to know your numbers. You have to set goals. Writing my goals down twice a day has been huge. I just recently, this last week, was able to just mark off 2 of them because I've nailed them and I've already hit those goals. And so I do that. And what that does for you is it subconsciously, you start to accept the reality of that this could happen. This goal is not so ridiculous anymore. This goal is within reach. So I started doing that. A lot of the other things I've implemented now in my businesses are core values. That is really like, it's taken all of my businesses like a step up, you know, because it just having that set and making sure that all of your team members are in alignment with those core values. That's been really huge, especially when you present that to your customers or your clients. You know, in the cleaning business, it takes it to a whole new level when I tell a homeowner, you know, our cleaning company has 5 core values and every single one of my employees align with those. And when I start going through that, I've had like 3 customers in the last week go, man, I'm really impressed with your organization. I'm really impressed with what you're showing us.
Talk to me about those core. What are some of those core values? I know we talk a lot about this in Growth Stack Drive in our GSD community about the importance of core values, onboarding process, having conversations, using those core values to create healthy culture. Talk about some of those core values and how that's made a difference in how you communicate with your team, and then overall made a difference on how you're able to take care of clients and customers.
Well, with the cleaning business, you know, it's honesty and trustworthiness, because you're sending people into people's homes, right, to clean their houses. So we talk a lot about honesty. If you break something, if something happens while you're in there, you know, we got to be honest, talk about it. The homeowners love that, right? Teachability, coachability, that's a big one. If you're not, with any of my businesses, truly, if you're not meeting expectation and something needs to be adjusted and we need to talk about it, you got to be flexible. You got to be well, flexibility is one of your core values for your teams, but ours is more of the coachability and teachability, that we're going to take that and we're going to accept that coaching and we're going to learn from it. We're not going to get defensive about it. We're going to learn from it. That's a big one too. Dependability is a big one for us. We're going to be there on time, as we said we would, you know, and we're going to show up and we're going to be there. Customer commitment. We are committed to our customers to bring the best value that we can, for sure. And then quality service. We just, in all of my businesses, quality service. As a coach, I want to bring more to my clients than they ever dreamed I would bring them. You know, I've started sending gifts to my clients and sending handwritten notes and things like that, reaching out and just, you know, making sure that they know that I care about them. I appreciate them. So, you know, that quality service and just over delivering in all of my businesses has been really helpful and has really helped them all, you know, rise to a new level. So yeah, core values.
Talk about the growth that's happened in your cleaning business over the past few months in direct correlation with you taking those core values, putting them into your company, and how that's, you just really seen some explosive growth in one of your businesses there.
Yeah, if any of you are listening and you have a similar business or something where you're trying to gain a client, if you talk about core values with your client. I did this recently with a high-level manager at a big organization here in our town. I was in her home giving her an estimate, and I started talking about our company's core values and how important they are to us and what they are. Her eyes literally lit up. I could see her face, because I wasn't just some, you know, fly-by-night cleaning company walking in here. Like, this is, you know, like we're legit, right? So her eyes just lit up. She immediately went to a relocation service that works in collaboration with her huge organization. I'm not dropping any names here, but y'all would know some of these names. She went to the relocation company that's located out of California, and they do relocations all over the country. Actually, they're in 7 countries. Anyway, those people contacted me, and we have our first job from that relocation company this Wednesday.
Love it.
I talked to them, and this is going to be huge. I mean, if we can nail this and we can keep this, because this is going to be huge, because it's going to bring us a lot more work, a lot more income.
Hey, so intentionality, do we say if we nail this?
when we nail this, that's right. Sorry about that. Yeah, when we nail this. So this is a huge opportunity for my cleaning company to really level up. I foresee this taking off, and I'm going to need to hire more employees because this could be really big for us. So the core values, me mentioning the core values to that client, that's what did it. It was like, she said to me, I really like you. I like she says, you're driven and you're professional. I like this. And then she went on to talk to someone else about me. So, you know, any of you listening to this out there, if you don't have core values established, I think that's the first thing you should do. And then if you do, talk about them. Talk about them often and always in all of your meetings with your team and then with your client. So.
Yeah. How big a difference has Grow Stack Drive been, or GSD fam been for you in the last 7-8 months?
It's been huge. I know that my income increase has been because of the community. You know, could I have done it on my own? I would like to think I probably could have, but I wasn't looking at it in a bigger picture. You know, you always say get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. And that's what GSD is. That's what that community is. It's got me thinking bigger because I'm around people who are thinking bigger than I am. And I can't stress that enough to people. If you're not doing that, you've got to get in as many rooms with as many people as you can. That's been a game changer for me because it's opened my eyes to new possibilities. Mm-hmm. So.
How important has it been these last few months for Mike's, your husband, awesome friend of mine and our GSD fam? How important has it been for the two of you guys to take this journey together? And from the first day you called me about the new salon to that one didn't work out to the salon you're in now, to your cleaning business, all the conversations the three of us have had. How important and how big of a difference has it made for your spouse to journey with you on this?
It's been a big difference for him to be right there and experiencing it with me. It doesn't work for me to go to this stuff and then to try to like relay to him what I learned and what I experienced and what I heard. He needs to be on these phone calls with me. He needs to be in these rooms with me. And when he went to the boot camp with me last month, that was a total game changer for us. Day one, I don't care what he says, he had skeptic written all over his face. and other people noticed it. Coach Burt even said to him, I was looking at you while I was talking, and I was thinking, that dude's intense. And he was like, he said, I was thinking that dude either hates me or doesn't believe a word I'm saying or whatever. And Mike that's Mike. Mike was just really feeling it out. By day 2, y'all had won Mike's heart over, and he was totally invested. And as you guys remember, we'd go through these sessions at the boot camp in the room, and when we would break up and go for our breaks, me and Mike would be off to the side, and his hands were going like this, and he's saying, I'm thinking about this, and I was thinking with this, we could do this, and then we could add this, and then he's like, we're gonna have business meetings when we get home. We got to buy a whiteboard. I mean, like, we were both on fire. If you have a spouse, if you're married or a partner or whatever, and you're a business owner, it is a huge benefit if you can get them right there in with you on this stuff. It's so huge. It's really cool that you and Coach Burt and many of these other influencers and coaches, you include the spouse, and you don't really charge extra for it. Like, you kind of, you let us kind of come and get into these rooms and do this stuff for the price of one. And that is so powerful. So if you don't have that, it is such a blessing to have. I feel like Mike and I are a power couple. And I think there is some big stuff in store for us. I think we could coach together. And I think that couples could really benefit from seeing how 2 people can work together in their businesses. And when you work together, it's just, you're going to blow the top off. So,
especially with the 2 of you guys, because your strengths are completely different. You're one side of the coin and Mike's the other. I absolutely, one of my favorite things coming out of our boot camp was seeing your Facebook post the next day of Mike and his giant spreadsheet up on the TV, the projector screen,
the projector,
or whatever it was. I was like,
oh yeah, he hit the floor running.
We've got a boot camp coming up January 29th and 30th. Myself, Coach Burt, Anthony, Carlos Reyes. What would you say to somebody who's going, man, do I want to spend $1,000 going to a boot camp? You were there.
Dude, I fought this for a long time, and I hated that I was fighting it. I did. And it's embarrassing in some ways, but I'm talking for months. I fought dropping money for this thing. And I was so afraid that it was going to be like a rah, just pump you up type thing. And it was like, I don't need that personally. A lot of people maybe still do. I don't need a lot of that anymore. I'm super motivated and driven, but I needed strategies, and I needed like some directness, and I needed to network. And I got all of that. I got the rah that I needed too, but I also got some strategies, and we went home with so many notes, and it has changed a lot of what we're doing. Well, look at me. I'm already now, I had my first live webinar. I've launched my first coaching group. I'm launching my second one in January. I've tripled my coaching clients since I went to boot camp, over tripled my coaching clients in number. So yeah, I would say that it is well worth your money. It was worth every penny. I hate that I fought it as long as I did, because it was huge for me. So yeah, if you are kind of like teetering, like, should I not, you're going to make that $1,000 back in no time by what you learn and what you come back home with. So just do it. I mean, I already have, so just do it.
It was so funny. It was so funny when we were talking about you coming. You're like, I'm going to come by myself. I said, listen, you can't come unless you bring your husband. That's what I told you, didn't I? Yes,
you did. And I got to say, from a female perspective, I admire that. And I think that, I think for my husband, because who are all these people, because a lot of you are men too. And we're like talking back and forth and chatting. My husband's like, who are all these people my wife's talking to? I think for Mike to see that the sincerity of, we want both of you, we don't just want her, we want both of you there. Mike saw that. And I think that was really powerful. Everybody wanted Mike to be there. And so, I think that was really powerful for him to see that. And when he knew that everyone wanted him to be there and that he was accepted and we could come for the price of one, I mean, heck yeah, that we'd be crazy to pass that up. So it was an easy decision.
That's exactly right. What would you say? There's entrepreneurs out there watching from all different scales. Some of them are brand new starting. There's entrepreneurs watching this today that's companies are worth 5, 10, 15, $20 million a year. What would you say is the one thing that you've picked up over the past 6 to 8 months that has really started you kind of on this rocket ship journey of growing all three of your businesses?
Well, I want to say probably the incremental, not monumental, taking those small steps and not being overwhelmed by a big picture. And with that, gosh, there's so many. So I'm trying to say one, but it's hard. I think for me, the calendar.
You can say more than one.
Okay, I appreciate it. The calendar and planning my calendar out, I was wasting a lot of time. And now I really am trying to make sure that my day is spent in high value activities that are money generating, client generating. And I'm scheduling that into my calendar the way you taught us to on Sunday night and on every night of the week before. So now I just follow my calendar during the day and I just make sure I'm hitting all those things. I feel like at the end of the day, for the first time, I'm not feeling like, God, I was so busy, but I didn't get anything accomplished. I feel like what I did was the stuff that I needed to do. So those little things, it's just little things every day, doing those things that are generating more income, generating more clients, the important things, making connections, building relationships, encouraging people. Those things are what will build your business. And you just got to be a little bit patient. You got to keep taking action. For me, taking action has been, I stood on the sidelines for a long time and watched all of you do things. And then it was like, no, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And so that action, taking that action was huge for me. But getting my calendar figured out was really big. I think if you're an entrepreneur, your calendar, like Grant Cardone says, that white space is the devil's playground.
Yes.
You cannot waste your time, man. Time is valuable and precious. And getting my calendar situated has been really, really important. But again, mindset, I am hugely motivated and I'm self-inspiring and I can always just drive. So that's sometimes easy for me, but believing in myself, aligning my heart with my head and realizing that I can be a Ken Joslin if I want to someday.
You better aim higher than that, girl.
Oh, come on now. But, just believing that the opportunities that are there for me are huge. Yeah, and I just got to go after them. So.
Well, on behalf of our entire GSD community, which a lot of them are actually watching live right now.
Yay!
Got a ton of people commenting on there. I want to let you know, number one, how proud of you I am. How proud of our entire community, over 120 people right now, who have watched your journey. A lot of them, you called them GSD OGs, some of the OGs from back in the, and we'll talk about this for 20 years. We'll talk about, you remember that first group, right in the middle of COVID when we couldn't go anywhere and we couldn't wait to get on a Zoom call with each other. Now people are like, Zoom, oh my God, I don't want to get another Zoom call.
Yeah. Dude, I was on live every day with you. Like I was like, Ken's on live. I'm gonna grab my phone. Now I'm too busy half the time. But yeah, you're right. It was a great community that we built.
Yeah. But anyway, just on behalf of everybody, just want to let you know how proud of you we are. And Mike, you guys are doing some unbelievable things. I'll ask you one more question. If somebody would have told you 6 or 8 months ago you would be where you're at today, what would you have told them? Heck
no. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. Like there's been so much growth this year, and that's incredible to say it in 2020. And I know it's been a hard year for people, and I do not minimize that. And I know there's been loss and but I do challenge people to check your perspective and look back and try to highlight the good things. There's bad things for me too. I could list you a bunch, but it's been good. It's been a year of growth. And if it wasn't a year of growth for you, then I challenge you listening today to go into 2021 and make sure that it's a year of growth. And that is all up to you. That is all within your capability, and it is up to you. So make 2021 a year of growth and make it better. But no, I never dreamed I'd be where I'm at now. And I can't even imagine what next year is going to be like, because, the momentum that I'm carrying now that I will continue to carry through the new year, I'm not only finishing fierce, but like you said, I'm finishing and I'm running through the finish line right into the next year. I'm excited. And I just hope I can help as many people as possible. I really want to be able to impact as many people as possible. So I thank you, Ken. I'm proud of you. It's funny, when I met you, I thought GSD was this thing that's been going on for years. I mean, y'all just seemed like it had been, I didn't know I was an OG. And so
you are definitely an OG girl.
I'm an OG. And I was there for the first night, I think. Well, that first night you invited me, and I was on this call with all these strangers, and it was uncomfortable for me because I didn't know these people, and I was nervous, heart pounding. But I thought y'all been around for a while. You just started this, Ken. I mean, this is incredible. Hey, let me ask you that. If you'd have thought at the beginning of this year that you'd be where you are right now, would you believe it?
Yes, I knew where we were going.
Okay.
I knew it. I saw it. I knew what it looked like.
That's awesome.
And only because, Melissa, because I've from the real estate business to ministry to mortgage broker to ministry before that, I've always seen big pictures. And I've always seen those things come to fruition. So it's the same way with you. Now, when you look at your cleaning business and you see what it looks like in a year, or your salon, what it looks like, or your coaching business a year, you go, oh yeah, we can do that.
That's true.
You gain momentum and you gain a confidence. And I love what you said earlier. The best way to get confidence is to do what you're not confident in. You said that earlier. I wrote that down. It's amazing. The more you do it, the more confidence that comes. And it's not just and this is what I love about our Grow Stack Drive family. Listen, growstackdrive.com/December. If I know we're live, but this is going to be recorded. Go to growstackdrive.com/December. We're opening up our entire GSD, everything, all of our online courses, our coaching calls on Wednesday night, as well as our private Facebook group. We're opening all that for free as our gift to you in the month of December. It is, I mean, you tell me what kind of gift that is, Melissa.
It's a wonderful gift. You need to get a part of it. Just please come one time. Come once to our Wednesday night. If you're kind of like, I don't know, just come hang out, turn your camera off and just listen if you want, and just be a part of things. Because there are not groups of people like this just walking around out there wherever you go in life. This is unique. And you're not going to find this in the office. You're not going to find this with your friends. And it's unique. These people are unique. And so you've got to get in on this because it is game changing and it is life changing. I was thinking about how you said you did expect this to happen this year, but I didn't. But I think next year I'll say different. I think next year I'm going to see huge growth and I'll say, yeah, I saw it coming, because I think because of GSD and the last 8-9 months, it's like a switch, was flipped and in me. And it's like, I think that had already happened to you. And I think now finally this switch was flipped. And so now I see it, I feel it, I know it. And I'm just getting towards it. But I think next year I'm ready for it. So that's awesome.
Well, girl, I love you and Mike dearly. And super, super proud of both of you guys. If our GSD family's here, they'll be going, I know they're super proud of you, your podcast. Melissa, what's the best way for people to be able to connect with you?
Yes. My podcast is called Beautifully Restored, because that is me and that is my life. Beautifully Restored. I believe that anyone can be restored and redeemed in life. So check that out. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, it's on Google Play, it's on Spotify, it's on all those things, and it's on YouTube now. So check it out on YouTube. Coach Melissa Stewart, that's my YouTube channel. Check me out over there. That's kind of new for me. You can email me at melcoach80@gmail.com if you want to talk to me about anything. I'm on Instagram as melcoach80. I guess those are probably the best ways to get a hold of me. So yeah, and if you're interested in coaching, please, you can hop in on my group in December. But again, I'll be starting Fit and Fierce in January. So those that have health goals, and probably I'll still be running another group that's outside of the health side of things, because I do life and health coaching. I do both. Even though
and if you follow Melissa on Instagram, you're going to see what a badass she is in the gym when it comes to deadlifting with no shoes on.
Oh, you want me to drop some numbers for you too, by the way? Y'all don't even know how strong I am. So I've competed in powerlifting and strongman. I'm not really bragging, but maybe I am. I've competed in strongman, powerlifting, CrossFit. I've also done bodybuilding competitions, physique competitions. I'm mostly proud of my strength. And so I've deadlifted 320 pounds. I've squatted 260 pounds. And I've benched 135. That ain't no big deal. But my squat and my deadlift, that's legit. So strength training for me was transformational for me, because it showed me that I'm a strong person. So if you guys are not into strength training, you need to reach out to me, because I think that that building yourself and getting stronger on the outside, it spills over into the inside, and it made me a stronger person. It made me feel capable. And so that was a huge turning point for me. So all about it. Yeah. Check me out on Instagram, melcoach80, and hit me up.
We're super proud of you, girl.
And I'm proud of you too. And I appreciate everything you've done for me and my family. We love you so much. And I love GSD, love my GSD peoples out there. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for letting me come on.
You're welcome. I'll see you Wednesday night. Guys, thank you for joining us on our Grow Stack Drive podcast. I'm your host, Ken Joslin, with my good friend, Melissa Stewart, Mel Coach 80 on Instagram. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We've got another special guest tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Looking forward to it. Mel, love you, girl. Tell your husband I said hello, and I'll see you tomorrow night or Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks, guys. GrowStackDrive.com/December. Check it out.